Hello, my name is Hector Sanchez, and I'm Director of Military and Veteran Programs at New Mexico State University. Thank you for joining us on our Veteran Student Information Series for Military and Veterans Appreciation Day. We are joined today by George Vargas, Southern Regional Supervisor of the Veteran Services Office from the New Mexico Department of Veteran Services. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about some services that you provide that particularly our veteran students may be interested in, and that we get a lot of requests and information from our office to provide. One of those is the Wartime Veteran Scholarship that is offered by the state of New Mexico. Can you elaborate a little bit about this scholarship and then eligibility for the scholarship?
Okay. Yes. This scholarship is a state approved by Congress. The state of New Mexico Congressional approved this so that veterans can continue further on their education. You do have to be a wartime era veteran. You do have to have a Iraqi campaign medal, Afghanistan, Korea campaign medal on there. Even the Expeditionary Forces medal will suffice to get you access to further your education. This is for up to a master's level, and is only for state-run schools. So no online, unfortunately, no online schools. You can't be going to Yale or somewhere out there to get this grant. It is only for state-run schools. You can use it pretty much for anything, even for technical colleges if you want, as long as they're state, Doña Ana, or local within your community, a state-run school. So, and it does pay. Right now, I believe it's paying up to $2,600 per semester, just because of the funding issues. So, but there is that eligibility. You do have to be honest. In all reality, you do have to be honorably discharged to be eligible for this, and be a resident of the state of New Mexico for 10 years. So just to make sure that you are a resident and that you're not gonna get trained and educated and then leave somewhere else. So this is also to help keep veterans here in locally in the community, to help them stay after they've been discharged from the military. And this is after they've also used up all of their GI Bill. If they don't have any voc rehab benefits from VA, that's what this grant is entitled for, so that veterans can get further on their education.
Excellent, excellent. So if a veteran has used up all their GI Bill and all and does not qualify for vocational rehabilitation, Chapter 31, they can apply for this.
Yes, sir. They can. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, and
okay.
we take advantage of it, full advantage of it, and just based on a yearly basis, however much money Congress puts into the pot, then that could increase from $2,600 to a higher amount. So I know at one time when it started, I mean, the Department of Veterans was paying, or the state of New Mexico was paying all of the tuition fees, so which was great.
Okay. Does that also include books? Does that include?
There is a stipend for books, yes. Not a big stipend, but there is. As long as you can get everything, the books and the tuition all in the same bill, for lack of a better word, it'll cover it. It'll cover it. So yes.
Now, okay, and does the student pay directly, or does the state pay directly to the university? How does that work?
The state will directly pay the university. Yes. So
okay.
that we avoid any issues that might arise.
Okay. I also was reading for a dependent of a deceased veteran, a scholarship. How would that work?
Those are only, the children are only eligible if the veteran passed while in active duty. So that's to help the child along for furthering their education. I understand through the active duty, the child also has benefits, and the spouse they have benefits, educational benefits coming to them as well. So that's just a little other incentive.
And I'm assuming that the veteran would have to be, the active duty serviceman would have to be a resident of the state of New Mexico?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Okay, can you talk about a little bit about there are a lot of our veterans that actually own homes here in New Mexico and have families and whatnot. Can you talk about the property tax breaks that veterans have here that own homes here in New Mexico?
Okay. One of the biggest things for these property tax exemption certificate is that the veteran is a resident of the state of New Mexico. We get a lot of veterans coming from Denver in the winter, coming down here to live while the winter subsides, and unfortunately we can't grant that benefit to them. But there is for any veteran, an honorably discharged veteran, there is a $4,000 tax exemption that they off of your yearly property taxes. They will remove $4,000 for being a veteran and an additional $2,000 for being head of household. So altogether about $6,000 off of your yearly property taxes. Now, if you are 100% disabled, the state of New Mexico, well, anywhere in the country, you pay no property taxes. So that's another incentive to try to help veterans stay here. Again, you do have to be a resident of the state of New Mexico. And from what I can recollect, New Mexico is probably one of the only ones that does the waiver, the $4,000 tax exemption. I know Texas doesn't have it. You got to be 100 or that's it or nothing. But New Mexico does help us out in getting that exemption. So that's a great benefit for us.
Okay, great. And also, can you elaborate on the license plate for veterans and what is it, and is there a fee for that to get a license plate if they are a veteran?
Okay, yes, sir. There's two types of, well, there's more than two types, but for any veteran, for any New Mexico resident with current registration on New Mexico registration, any veteran's eligible to get military plates on their vehicle. It is a $17 fee. It's a one-time fee for the plate. You keep the plate for the rest of your life. And you do have to get yearly registration on the vehicle. Okay, that's every honorable discharge veteran, regardless of branch or service or how long they put in their time. There is another, the one that everybody aims for is the disabled veteran plate. You have to be 50% disabled through the VA to be eligible for that plate. That is a free plate, and you are eligible for up to 2 plates. So, I mean, and it's great because you never have to register that vehicle again. So that's a great benefit for that.
I know we've had some questions from some of our students regarding whether they would qualify if it was a mental disability. Can you elaborate on that, if there is any difference between a mental disability and a physical disability and getting a disabled plate? Well,
a mental disability can be anything as far as depression, PTSD. As long as the VA has awarded you a 50% disability on that, you're eligible for the plate. So it doesn't have to be arms or legs, or missing a limb. It's just a 50% disability, regardless of what it is. Now, I do know that veterans are getting confused with the excise tax. We still have to pay excise tax. The only way that the state will waiver that is if you're missing a limb, an arm and a leg, an eye, or something to that effect. That's the only way they will waive that excise tax. Other than that, we do have to pay that.
Okay. Can you tell us where your office is located here in Las Cruces? And then contact information. How could our student veterans contact your office, particularly now with the COVID situation and limited access to many services offered? here in New Mexico?
Well, we're presently located at 2024 East Griggs, right off of Loman, behind the Walmart, off of Loman. We're still working 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, except holidays. And we do everything by phone, email, or fax. We have 3 of us that are in the office here in Las Cruces. One of them is Craig Chumley. His phone number is 505-870-1349. And Rosa Bysensky, her number is 505-216-8782. Both of these individuals are highly intelligent and capable of submitting great claims and getting approved. So kudos to them. And they'll go out of the way to help our veterans, which is one of the most important parts. You know, their empathy, their wisdom in filing claims is incredible. So I highly recommend you getting a hold of them. And I'm usually dealing more with appeals. So I can file claims as well, but I'm dealing more with the appeals. And my number is 575-520-2634. I fight, after the VA has denied a claim, I fight that claim to try to get it approved. And presently, don't boast, but I have a good, I haven't lost a claim yet. So, you know, but it's all depending on developing the claim, and Rosa and Craig are really good at that. So give us a call or shoot us an email, and we'll get back to you, definitely.
Great, thank you. Well, that concludes our information session with the Department of Veteran Services for the state of New Mexico. Thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Hector, for having me, and happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.